Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I know we are, right, Galen?
We always are, yes.
Very busy, guys, right now. So, look, today we're going to talk all about risk evaluation.
That's right. We're going to get into some
let's
risky
get into
business.
this stuff, man.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. So, why is it important? I mean, it's really important to make sure that we are doing our fiduciary, taking that responsibility, guys, to represent our borrowers really well. So, we want to take things to the finish line, but we got to make sure we understand what are we up against.
Absolutely, guys. Look, we have to clarify active liens against the property, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes there are liens and sometimes there's not, right? But if we understand the process, we'll be able to figure that out.
Exactly. We need to make sure that we clear title. So when a property passes hands, we need to make sure that everything's been cleared up, and we need to understand what that looks like.
Yep. Accurate seller's net proceeds, guys.
Yes.
It came up.
Right. Yeah, so that's important. We want to make sure we let our sellers know, our borrowers, find out what at the end of the day are they going to walk away with. Right?
Or not. Right, guys? Remember, listen, this is how we determine if there's going to be a net proceeds or not, right? If it's a short sale or a regular sale, guys, we have to understand this. Because here's a couple of situations. Well, let me just share one with you, right? And this was early on in the game. One time I went to a property and I told them, hey, you're going to net this much. Over the phone, I told them they were about to net this much, this amount, right? I get there and I see some judgments and liens. Well, guess what, guys? It was not accurate. That was very disappointing because they were already counting the dollars. So this is very important.
Yeah, so some of these key factors in order to avoid those kinds of situations is to make sure you pay attention to any tax liens, judgments, and financial encumbrances and things like that that are going to show up on title for that specific property.
Very important, guys, right? Then that means that if all of this is true, then there's a cloud on title.
Yeah, that's all of these things you need to pay attention to because, again, this is going to determine what we have on our hands.
Yes, guys. Look, some judgments could be, child support, right?
Yes.
There's stuff that comes up like that. Or somebody wants to put a Lis Pendens on a property, right? They have a judgment against somebody.
Correct.
That's what happens.
So part of this process, in order to scrub the property properly, is going to make sure that you obtain a statement of information, which we call an SI, when you're going to a listing appointment. Because it's important to scrub that property really well so you understand, again, what types of liens, judgments, any encumbrances are showing up on that property.
Yes, remember, guys, the statement of information is against the individual, right? And then once, because look, there could be two different judgments and liens, right? They could be up against an individual or they could be up against the property. There's a situation where we were about to close a property and a Lis Pendens came up, right? But the Lis Pendens was against the individual, not the property.
Yes, so there's going to be a lot of circumstances that are going to pop up like that.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that we request lien payoff demands as well. So we got to pay off. We're going to pay off some of these items and these amounts that are overdue. So we need to make sure that we understand what do those demands look like. So that's a really great thing to do, and which is important when you're understanding, again, what are they going to walk away with or not.
Yes, guys. Look, and verify government agencies' citations, right? There might be some.
Yes. And another important reason why payoff demands are so important to order is because back in 2015, it could have been one number, but now in 2025 or in 2026, you're going to see a different amount.
Absolutely, guys. This is really good stuff. So what are key takeaways for us?
Yes, well, the initial evaluation of the property, making sure you understand before you head out to a listing appointment that you understand the characteristics of the property, that you run the profile on it, that you run title, which also runs background on an individual or the borrowers. It's all important in order to have a smooth process.
Yes, guys, ensure a smooth process. What does that mean?
Well, that you can be able to close at the end of the day.
Yes, guys.
Right? After all that hard work and all the resources you're using, that you will see that finish line in a positive way.
We love finish line, guys.
And then also project that professionalism, if I can say it.
You got it.
We all have problems speaking today. But
that's all
if
good.
you can project that professionalism for that borrower, for that seller, for that individual that we're representing at the end of the day, that's what we're about.
Let's go, Galen. It was good stuff, guys. See you guys soon again. Let's go.